It is.
All right, we have Gonzaga student athletes with us. Kiani Albanez, Sonny Greinacher, and Ellie Tinkle. We'll remind you, if you can, to please direct questions to a specific student athlete. That'll be helpful. If you have a question for multiple, you can indicate that and we'll send it around. Raise your hand when you have a question and we'll direct a mic holder to you. We'll start right here.
Tom Klaus, Spokesman Review. I have to say that for them. You know who I am. For all three, but start with Ellie. After last week, you guys played so well last week. How do you replicate that as players? I know the coaches want you to, but how do you prepare yourself with all the distractions, every level now you go adds to it, if you know what I mean?
Right. You know, just kind of getting refocused after last weekend. Obviously, we were on cloud nine after our wins in Corvallis, and you know, it's just one of those things where we had the rest of the weekend to enjoy it, but at the same time, we knew that we weren't just going to be satisfied with, you know, making Sweet 16, and that we were just going to keep riding this out as long as possible. And so, yeah, our coaches, you know, without a doubt, it's, you know, it's achievement that we wanted to celebrate, but at the same time, you know, we don't want to be done yet, and we still want to try and advance. And so this week especially, it's been, okay, now we're preparing for another team, and it's been a lot, just like the weeks prior, where we've got another opponent to get ready for, and just kind of turning that focus right back, and everyone's been able to do that so far.
Sonny?
I think taking the confidence from the previous games, and then we talked about how we knew that every game is just going to get tougher from now on. Obviously, the more you advance, the bigger opponents, the more experience do those opponents have, and just being confident of what we've done so far, and I think also knowing we've been clicking lately really well on the court, and having that in mind and just continuing to doing what we did.
Kiani?
I think to add on to Sonny's, we've definitely been playing the best basketball that we've seen so far, and we love that. We want to keep that going and keep it rolling. Yes, there are a lot of distractions, but there's always going to be distractions. I feel like we as a team are clicking, and we haven't let those distractions bother us. They haven't bothered us in Oregon, so I don't think it's going to start now. I think we're really excited. We're pumped and ready to get back onto the court, and we have something to prove, and we don't want to be done yet. So.
Michelle Smith, ESPNW. Ellie, I'll start with you, but I would like all three of you to answer it. What was your expectation about the transition that was going to happen with the coaching change? How much transition do you feel like you guys experienced this year, and you know, was it easier or harder than you expected it to be because Lisa had already been here?
Right, yeah. Actually just kind of discussed that, and you know, it was one of those things that I just keep saying it, is that obviously we expected some of the dynamics to be different, but you know, it's always going to be that way when you have a new coaching staff. But at the same time, you know, Lisa's no stranger to this program and no stranger to any of us. You know, she's been invested into this program for, you know, short of a decade, and has had, you know, huge roles in each one of, you know, our own player developments and just recruitment process. And so, you know, we were familiar with her, and she knew what it was going to take to win and continue to be successful, as, you know, this program has been under Coach Graves. And so the transition was really easy, and, you know, all of us were, you know, more than confident that she was going to be able to, you know, take this team and do something special with us, and she's, you know, been able to do so far, and all of us have, you know, committed, and yeah, it was really pretty seamless.
Sonny?
I agree. I think the transition was really smooth, maybe smoother than a lot of outside people expected. I think there were a lot of people, or a lot of us after the decision that Coach Graves left, that actually went in and spoke out that we want Lisa to continue here as a head coach, and she obviously has been doing a great job, but there's also, I lost my train of thought a little bit. yeah, just we're really proud of her, but also we're playing for our team, but we're also playing for her as a coach and for the new coaching staff. It's been clicking really well, and yeah.
Kiani?
In the beginning, when Coach Graves had made the decision to leave, she was one of the coaches that said any coach that comes in here, they would have to be crazy to change the entire system that we already had with the girls that we have. So we knew, like Sunny and Ellie said, that we wanted Coach Lisa to stay. We had told the AD director that we would love for the opportunity for Lisa to have that head coaching job. So we were thrilled when it happened. It definitely made the transition a lot smoother. She knows us. She recruited us personally, so she knows our strengths and our weaknesses. So having that instead of having someone totally new come in was definitely a benefit towards us. And of course, the naysayers and saying that it's difficult for a head coach for her first time and to get this far, and I commend her. And of course, we wanted to do it, like Sunny said, for not only ourselves but for Lisa too and her family.
This question's for Ellie and Kiani. Obviously, Ellie, you got the chance to start because Lindsay went down, and Kiani, you had to kind of respond after Hayden left to be kind of that defensive. So the person just kind of throws yourself into the play and gets the steal. So to talk a little bit about that transition, Ellie, you getting the chance to start, and Kiani, you kind of having to take over that role that Hayden had been for 3 years.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think every year we lose someone great. Before that, it was TK, and before that, it was Kayla and Kelly Bowen. So every year there's always a spot to fill for those people. And Hayden was one of my really good friends, and I got to battle with her every single day. And so during summer, she'd push me because she knew that that was one of the roles that I had to fulfill. I love it. It's great, and I'm embracing it for sure. But yeah.
And I think as far as, just kind of how my role has changed, not only from last year to this year, but especially, like you said, the last few months. And, I knew going into this year that I was going to have to be better. And, I was an upperclassman now, and so I, figured that out well into the off season, and I knew I wanted to do more for my team, and I wanted to, improve my game so that I could, be more of a threat, and I could be there out on the floor and, compete with the best of the best. And so I think it was just, and I knew, and I did put in a lot of work in the off season, but it was really when Lindsay's kind of unfortunate injury happened that I said, okay, now it's time. Obviously she was a huge part of our team, and just her production alone on offense is something that's hard to match, coming in and having to kind of take her place when she was injured. And I just, I think with the help of the coaching staff having confidence in me, and then, my teammates having confidence in me, it was just, almost immediate for me to say, okay, I'm capable of doing a little bit more, and, I know that I have the potential to, play even better. And so that's just what I try to do. I knew that I had some big shoes to not necessarily fill, just because we are different type of players, and just kind of, I guess, be there to still contribute in different aspects of the game.
Sunny Cadwallader, Sporting Nation and Catchuca Sports. This question is for Sunny. Great name, first of all. As you go further along in the tournament, the stakes are higher. Social media is part of every athlete's life nowadays. Do you find that you and your teammates are policing yourselves a little bit more? I mean, we've seen so many athletes get in trouble for what they say either to the media or on Twitter.
I actually just heard about this incident that kind of got a lot of attention about social media and athletes, but I don't think it's necessarily a problem for our team. I know that all the girls on the team are very more reserved when it comes to that, just personality-wise. What we use social media for is more getting ourselves hyped and just maybe spreading the word where we play and encouraging other people to watch us and stuff. But I don't think it's a problem for us to be inappropriate on social media, those kind of things. Just knowing the girls on our team.
Ellie, what kind of advice have you gotten from Joss? And also, last weekend with your dad in the gray shirt behind the bench, and he got a lot of TV time, but what was sort of your reaction to that whole situation, and how did that go?
Yeah, reminds me too that I need to have a word with whoever was doing the filming for the game, because I hear he got a lot more screen time than most of us, so I don't know if they forgot there was a game going on, but he is a little bit of a camera hog, so no, yeah, it was awesome. Obviously, my family situation, we're all so close, but every single one of us is in a different state at some point, and like my sister in a different country, and so to be able to get that kind of family time is just, it's unbelievable. And my mom's fortunately been able to come to a handful of games this year, but my dad has only been able to see a few, and then my sister hasn't seen me play for a couple of years. So it was just such a special moment for me to have, those three in the crowd, and it sure meant a lot to me. And then as far as my sister, yeah, she's no rookie to the NCAA tournament at all, and so just kind of the biggest piece of advice she's given me is just to remain confident and just be patient with this whole process. Obviously, it's because we're playing on such a grander scale now, and against teams that are much more competitive. It's kind of the natural tendency to want to go out there and try and do something right away just because you want to perform, and I think it's just been important. She's just told me, your time's going to come or your opportunity's going to come. You just got to be patient and know what you can do, and if it's not going your way, then find some other way to get involved and contribute to the team. And so that's just been the biggest, I think, help for me, is just having confidence in myself, but letting the game come to me.
We have time for two more. We'll start back here.
This is for all of you, Mike Welkrim too. You've played here in Spokane in this tournament before. It's been disappointing endings. Mm-hmm. How do you learn from those experiences to get the 2 wins here?
Ellie?
Yeah, you said it. We've had our opportunity to play here, and in this bigger venue in front of more fans, and obviously have fallen short a little bit. And so I think just being able to now have that opportunity, each one of us just want to make the most of it and really take advantage of it. And obviously we were in a different, people said, well, you guys played great in Oregon State, you're used to those big crowds, and they're right, but usually the big crowd is going for us. And so I think now to have the chance to play in front of our fans, and Sonny said it before, it's going to be a little bit different dynamic because we're not in the kennel, and that's where we're so used to playing. But I think just having another chance to play in front of, I think as a player you don't realize how fortunate you are, especially a Gonzaga player, how fortunate you are to play in front of the thousands of fans that we do, and they definitely are momentum builders for sure. And so I think, I don't want to say that's what's going to help us, but, it definitely gives us a little edge, I think, when we come out and play. But, that doesn't guarantee a win for us at all. Obviously, there's a reason it's called March Madness. Nothing's guaranteed at this point. So it's great. We didn't have to travel far, but we still are going to have to come out and play our very best.
Sonny?
Yeah, as Ellie said, we're so fortunate to have the support here in the Spokane region, all the people coming to support us. And we have played in Spokane before in this tournament, but none of our players have played in the arena before. And we talked about this before. We remember the 2 years ago when we could have played here and got kicked out before, and how we all thought to ourselves that we want to have this opportunity to play here before we leave, especially for us seniors. And I think a lot of people say, isn't there so much pressure here now, and you have a home game, so many people watching us, but it's not. It's a basketball game. It's not pressure. It's going out there and enjoying the moments and using the energy that we get from the fans to fuel us. But it's like I said, it's a basketball game. How much pressure is there to just go out there and play what we love or do what we love to do?
Kiani?
I just add on to that. us being players, obviously, but being seniors and having kind of that another senior night. Our fans are amazing to us, and to be able to play in front of those fans again, it just means the world. I know to me personally, but I know to the girls as well. Yes, it's exciting. We're happy that we are able to be with our fans, but yeah, that's really cool.
All right, we've gone over our time, so we'll dismiss the Gonzaga student athletes and remind you that Barrett Henderson can help you if you have any more needs. Thanks. Thank you, guys.